The day my dad limped away with me, my birth mom wasn't even a bit sad. She actually clapped and cheered, "Great, that jinx is finally gone." But soon after moving to the new house, my adoptive mom regained her sight, Dad's leg got better, and my brother made a ton of money and bought a big mansion. Meanwhile, my birth parents ended up broke and in ruins. They begged me in tears to come back home. I was a premature kid, so small and weak I was like a little chick when I was born. The doctor told them I needed to go in an incubator, but my mom rolled her eyes in the hospital bed and said, "A girl? If she lives, she lives. If not, it's her fate." Guess fate had other plans. I survived against all odds. At 3 years old, when I first called her mom, she poked my head multiple times and said, "How did I end up with such a dumb kid? Why don't you just be mute?" So I pretty much stopped talking. Didn't want to upset her anymore. At 4, Mom got pregnant again. Her belly was all pointy, and everyone said it was a boy. My aunt, who didn't get along with Mom, taught me to call the baby sister instead. Innocent me did as I was told, and Dad's face dropped immediately. He grabbed me and gave me a harsh beating, bruised all over. The next day Mom went into labor. After a lot of effort, she gave birth to another daughter. After that, her hatred for me skyrocketed. "It's all that little jinx's fault. Scared my son away. She's nothing but bad luck. Get rid of her. I never want to see her again." Dad wasn't fond of me either, so when they found common ground, he picked me up and dumped me in the middle of nowhere. I cried out after him, "Dad, wait for me. I'm scared." Before I could finish, I slipped into a ditch. The water was freezing cold, the kind that cuts to the bone in winter. My heavy, wet clothes quickly dragged me deeper into the stream. As I neared the point of drowning, there was a splash, and someone was swimming over to me. The person who saved me was my adoptive father. He hobbled with me in his arms back home. My adoptive mom, hearing me cry, felt her way to the door and asked, "Is that a child crying?" Adoptive Dad handed me dry clothes while catching his breath, saying, "Fished her out of the ditch. If I'd been a little later, she'd have been a goner." Adoptive Mom touched my face and said, "Poor thing, this child's just a baby. How did she fall into a ditch?" Adoptive Dad didn't answer. "Just place me in her arms. You hold her by the fire for a bit. I'll make some ginger tea." I stayed with my adoptive parents for 3 days. Once I was better, my adoptive dad took me back to my birth parents' house. Seeing me, my mom's face went dark, and she got all worked up. "What's this brat doing back here?" Adoptive Dad was fuming. "How can you say that? What kind of mother are you? Who are you to tell me how to be a mom? If you love being her fake dad so much, take her. Why bring her back?" That was a wake-up call for my adoptive dad. Right. How could such a little kid wander kilometers away on her own? I edged closer to him without saying a word. Truth is, from the moment Dad turned away, I knew he didn't want me. He heard me fall in the ditch, but when I called out, he didn't stop. He just walked faster. My mom sneered, "Mind your business. None of your concern." She made it clear she didn't want me. Dad was on the same page, and no amount of reasoning from my adoptive dad worked. Frustrated, he took my hand and walked away, saying, "This kid must have the worst luck to have parents like you. Fine, you don't want her? I do. From now on, Molly is my daughter." My mom was all smiles, happy to get rid of a burden. "You said it. Whoever backs out is a dog." As my adoptive dad walked out the door with me, I could hear her clapping and cheering. "Great, that jinx is finally gone." He gave me a new name, Molly. My adoptive mom held my hand, warming it, then sighed, "We'll raise her ourselves. This child found us for a reason." My adoptive dad knelt down in front of me and seriously said, "Molly, from now on, this is your home." His voice was gentle, nothing like the harsh tone of my birth father that always scared me into silence. Unexpectedly, I called him Dad. My adoptive mom laughed, touched my cheek, such a sweet voice. Molly must be a lovely girl. That afternoon, my brother came back from school. He liked me, and even gave me a box of lollipops as a gift. Now with Molly here, I feel better about Mom. He said that because Dad worked a lot, and Mom, being blind, found it tough being alone. My dad's leg and Mom's eyes were from a car crash a few months back. They were all in the same car. Dad protected my brother and hurt his leg, while Mom ended up losing her sight. This made my brother really guilty, Watching Dad, Mom, and him, I made up my mind to be Mom's eyes. The neighbor lady across the way heard about them adopting me. Every day she'd sit outside and shout insults like, "What a fool, raising someone else's daughter. Must be crazy." At first, my adoptive mom ignored her, like listening to a barking dog. But this lady got nastier, calling me ugly and a jinx, saying the Smiths would meet some serious misfortune. Adoptive mom couldn't take it anymore, and stormed out to yell at her. "Shut your foul mouth. Who's jinxed now? Say one more bad word about my daughter, and I'll tear your mouth apart. And what's a blind woman gonna do about it anyway? Huh? You can't even reach half a mile. Who's the big talker?" Mom was shaking with rage. I quickly patted her back and shouted toward the neighbor lady, "Don't get too happy. My mom's eyes will get better." She laughed at me. "You think so? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard." The neighbor wanted to keep yapping, but my brother came home from school. He's a total whiz kid, super respected by teachers, and he'd aced the finals again. Got a certificate and a fat cash prize to boot. Her son was in the same school as my brother though. He slacked off, caused trouble, and was always calling his parents in for meetings. She was just jealous of how brilliant and responsible my brother was, and how proud my mom was of him. Mom scoffed. "Why don't you go brag about your son's scholarship, huh? My son's got it, and I'm proud. Love to brag." The lady's face turned green, ready with a comeback, but then some cops showed up at her door. She turned white. "Why are you here for my son? He's been at school all week, not home. Your son got into a fight and stabbed someone." "What? No way, my son wouldn't even kill a chicken. How could he stab someone?" The lady was being unreasonable, yelling that the police made a mistake and were wrongly accusing her son. But something this serious, how could the police get it wrong? They searched around and found out her son wasn't at home, then left. After the police left, she saw us standing at the door and spat at us. "What are you looking at? You black-hearted people, stop gloating, my son will be fine." Really? Mom just felt sorry that her son was reckless, causing trouble for the family and making the parents upset. Trying to be nice just backfired. My mom couldn't be bothered to sympathize with her anymore. At night, when I was falling asleep, I heard my mom speaking quietly to Dad. "Molly is 5 already. Kids her age in the village are all going to kindergarten." "Kindergarten?" "I know, like the girl next door who used to carry a backpack every day. She'd say there are lots of kids at kindergarten, and the teacher gives out big red stars and tasty treats." Dad glanced in my direction, making me quickly shut my eyes. I heard him say, "I was just about to tell you. I'll go enroll Molly tomorrow and get her a backpack and supplies." Before Dad could finish, I quickly opened my eyes and sat up, whispering, "Dad, I don't want to go to kindergarten." "Why not?" I glanced over at Mom and snuggled closer to her. "If I go to kindergarten, no one will be home to keep Mom company." Mom was startled, her eyes quickly reddening as she choked up and hugged me. "Mom doesn't need Molly to keep her company. Mom can be home alone. Molly needs to go to school, learn things, and be as good at studying as her brother. That makes Mom happy." Dad, being a no-nonsense kind of guy, decided to take me to enroll the very next day. I held Mom's hand and said, "Mom, come with us." "Mom won't go. She'll wait at home for Molly and Dad." My brother said that since Mom lost her sight in the accident, she hasn't wanted to go out. This time, Mom's response was exactly what I expected. Thinking about Mom being all alone at home made me feel sad, so I sat back down next to her. "If Mom doesn't go, I won't either." Mom tried not to laugh, coaxing me. "Molly, don't be silly." "I'm not being silly, Mom. I mean it," I repeated firmly. Dad chuckled and took my side. "Since Molly insists, why don't you come too? I'm worried the other kids will laugh at me in front of Molly." Without giving her a chance to refuse, I grabbed her hand and pulled her. "Come on, Mom, please come." With Dad and I persuading her, Mom finally gave in, and the 3 of us went out together. The lady next door was sitting on the doorstep, crying her heart out. Her son hadn't hidden well and got caught. Apparently, he'd be serving a long sentence. Seeing us leave, she paused her crying, picked up a turnip, and threw it our way. "It's all your fault, bad luck charm. As soon as you came, something happened to my son. Get this bad luck charm out from here, or I'll never let it go with you Smiths." Dad shielded Mom and me, glaring at her. Complete nonsense. Your son's actions have nothing to do with my daughter. Your stupid daughter is a bad luck charm. She ruined her own parents' lives. We're unlucky to live next to you and get dragged into your mess. Mom hadn't gotten along with this lady for years, so she ignored her ranting. She calmly grabbed Dad in my hands. Ignore her. It's a waste of time. Enrolling Molly is more important. Dad didn't want to argue either. He agreed without a second thought. Seeing that I was tiny and slow, he just picked me up with one hand, holding Mom's hand with the other. After signing me up, Dad and Mom got me a backpack and some new clothes. It was nearly dark when we started heading home. We hadn't even reached our house when we saw thick smoke rising, and people calling out to put out a fire. It was coming from our direction. Dad's face turned grim, and he rushed ahead, leaving Mom and me behind. Ken, thank goodness you're back. Your woodpile caught fire, and the whole house is burning. There were a lot of people gathered around our house. The fire was out of control, blazing and sending smoke everywhere. How did the woodpile catch on fire? Such a nice house all gone now. Building a new one will cost a pretty penny. Did anyone call 911? Only firefighters can put out a blaze like this. Listening to people whisper about our burning home, I suddenly remembered what the lady said and got scared. Speak of the devil, and she shall appear. She popped up from somewhere, pointing at me and shouting, the bad luck charm is back. First she ruined my son, and now she's messed up the Smiths too. What an absolute curse. I stumbled back a couple of steps, and Dad rushed back, eyes red, looking at us. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, it's all my fault. I burst into tears, scared. The lady's words hit the nail on the head. I really was a curse, dragging Dad and Mom down with me. But in the next moment, Dad suddenly hugged Mom and me tightly. No, Molly isn't a curse. If Molly hadn't insisted on bringing Mom, it wouldn't just be the house that burned down. Dad's voice was hoarse, his eyes filled with the fear of a close call as he looked at Mom. Mom was still stunned. Now finally getting it, she broke down crying. Molly, it was Molly who got me out of the house. She saved my life. Dad nodded through his tears and laughed. Absolutely, all thanks to Molly. Who says my daughter is a curse? She's clearly a blessing, sent by heaven to save her mother. Dad's words caused quite a stir. Is that true, Ken? Of course, when we were all set to leave, Mom didn't want to go, but Molly insisted. If we had left Mom alone in the house with the fire spreading so fast, Uncle, do you think she'd have escaped? Uncle quickly shook his head. Even if she made it out, surely she would have been severely hurt by the fire. For someone who can't see, getting burned would be devastating. So Molly is a hero, she's a blessing, Dad said as he shot a fierce glare at the lady. Stop bad-mouthing my daughter. If you push it, I won't hold back. The fire wasn't out until nightfall. The police came, and Dad was called over for questioning. With nowhere to go, we were temporarily staying at Uncle's house. Dad was too scared to let my brother know the house burned, because he thought it might distract him. So, he went to the city the next day. After he left, Auntie made fun of us with a smirk. Now you're screwed, nowhere to stay. How will you feed yourselves, huh? She didn't even finish her sentence when Uncle's grandson rushed over. Becky, come quick. Someone wants to interview you guys. Mom was confused. Interview about what? Uncle's grandson sheepishly scratched his head. I'm in journalism, right? Heard about your situation yesterday and wrote a piece. A regular family like ours had been through a lot. An accident, Dad's leg, Mom going blind. The person responsible just took off. And now, the house burns down after all our money went to medical bills. In short, we were in a real tough spot, and Uncle's grandson's article caught fire online. What am I supposed to say? Molly's dad isn't here, and I don't know how to do interviews, Mom stammered, clearly flustered. It's all good, just be honest. The journalist asked about the fire. It was started by an old man from a neighboring village who threw a cigarette into a pile of wood. The man has no kids or assets, and he's too old for the police to do anything about. I'll post the interview to see if we can raise some money to help you. Isn't that a bit much? Not at all. Your story breaks my heart. I just wish I could do more, she said, pulling out an envelope and handing it to Mom. Mom felt the thickness and realized it was money, trying to return it quickly. Seeing her reaction, the journalist put it in my hand instead. Little one, help your mom keep this, okay? I shook my head. Mom said we can't accept it. It's okay, really, it's a gift from me. I was young and didn't really get money, but I knew she wanted to help. I don't want money. I just wish Mom could see again, so she can take me to school, and Dad can go away to work without worry. There weren't many job opportunities around here, so Dad was thinking about going away to earn money, but Mom's blindness made him hesitant. The journalist stopped, not pushing the money anymore. Your wish will come true, kiddo. When Dad came back, the journalist had already left. He didn't say much after hearing about the interview. I told Mike about it. Dad told Mike to focus on his studies, and that we'd visit him in the city if we could. My brother was about to take his college entrance exams, so Dad was trying to keep things calm for him. Dad was thinking of leaving Mom and me with Uncle, so he could go work. But then the journalist returned looking excited. She told us a doctor agreed to operate on Mom. What? Dad dropped his mug, shattering it. The video of the interview had gone viral, generating a lot of sympathy. One doctor saw it and offered to operate on Molly's mom. The journalist talked with our parents for a long time. 3 days later, Dad took Mom to the hospital for tests. They did a bunch of tests, and the doctor said Mom's eyes could be fixed. They even set up the surgery quickly. The surgery was scheduled for a weekend morning. Mom went in early, and we waited outside forever, until evening when she finally came out. Her head and eyes were wrapped tight in bandages, and I was worried. But the doctor told Dad it was successful, and Dad was so happy he picked me up. Molly, once she gets better, she can take you to school herself. Really? Will Mom want to go outside? I was thrilled. Of course. Your mom loves being out and about. He laughed heartily. It was the first time I'd seen him this happy, and I couldn't help but smile along. I felt so lucky. On the day Mom left the hospital, the journalist came with some coworkers bringing goodies. Candy. I ran over and gave her a big hug. Thank you, Ms. Candy, Dad says you're our hero. Candy paused a moment, then smiled and ruffled my hair. I didn't do much. All the credit goes to that doctor. The doctor is also our hero, but Dad says you're part of it too. Candy pinched my cheek. Sweet talker, I've got good news this time. She shared and showed a thick envelope. Dad was surprised. Candy, what's this? It's donations from people online, to help you get back on your feet. Candy, I can't take this money. Ken, just accept it. This money was meant for you. Candy barely finished before a woman, my birth mother, snatched the envelope. Who are you? What are you doing? Candy was furious, trying to get it back. The whole story about our family was all over town, making it impossible to hide from my brother in the city. So he came too. My birth mom planned it all, and finally got her chance at the hospital. She grinned greedily at the money, saying, "Aren't I this girl's real mom? Wasn't this donation for her?" I leaned against Dad's leg for courage. That money's for my mom. Little brat, she raised you a bit, and now she's your mom? My birth mom glared. Candy was totally lost, not understanding the situation. Ken, is she really Molly's mom? Dad was about to nod, but I shouted, "No, she left me. She doesn't want me." My birth mom's expression changed, and she raised her hand as if to hit me. You little liar. What nonsense are you spouting? Dad looked angry, blocking her. You'd hit Molly in front of me? You chose to give her up, remember? She eyed the money greedily, shifting her story. Never said that. You begged me for her because she's so good, and now you won't let me see her. Dad was furious with her lies, shaking with anger. You're making up stories. Unfazed, my birth mom began causing a scene in the hospital. It's true. This family wants all the money, so they're pretending I don't exist. The hospital became chaotic, and Candy looked confused about who to believe. Out of nowhere, my brother stood up and pointed at our biological mother, laughing mockingly. You have the nerve to talk. You ditched Molly, then tossed the youngest daughter too. You think we don't know? Our biological mom's smile froze. I have no idea what you're talking about. I looked at my brother, confused. What did he mean by tossed? My brother sneered, turning to Ms. Candy and the others. Yeah, she's Molly's real mom, but she's the one who dumped her. Even when Dad took her back, she didn't want her. People say even a fierce tiger won't eat its cubs, but this woman is worse. She had another daughter a few months ago, and didn't even wait till she was 3 or 4 to abandon her. Just straight up gave her to a family in the next town. Dad gasped. Mike, is this true? My brother nodded. There's a kid in my class from their village. Everyone knows about it. If Candy doesn't believe it, she can ask around. Our biological mother, caught red-handed, got furious. She tried to hit my brother with her bag, shouting, "You just don't want me to have this money, spreading lies about me. You think everyone cares about money like you?" Without missing a beat, my brother handed the money back to Ms. Candy, insisting we weren't going to keep this money anyway, and she definitely shouldn't get it. As our biological mom caused a scene, my mom came over to back my brother up. I'm so grateful to Candy and Dr. John. You gave me back my sight, and that's worth more than any money. We can't accept this money. My husband and I can work to support our 2 kids. But the donation shouldn't go to her. Candy, please explain to the donors and return it, my mom firmly stated, pointing at the biological mom. The difference in reactions between the 2 mothers was stark. Ms. Candy chose to trust us and took the money back. Watching her money slip away, our biological mom was livid, her face red with fury. You idiots, you'll regret this. This jinx will bring you all down. My mom shielded me, scoffing at her. You're the jinx. Molly is our lucky star, our precious gem. A woman yourself, yet so cruel to your own daughter. You'll face the consequences. Our biological mom wanted to speak again, but my brother interrupted her. Mom, you're right. Molly is our good luck charm. By the way, I forgot to mention, I got early admission to Peking University. Before he finished, my mom's eyes widened with joy. Early admission to Peking University? Is that true, Mike? My brother nodded slightly. Would I ever lie to you, Mom? Dad's tense face finally broke into a grin. He patted my brother's shoulder proudly. That's my boy, making your dad proud. He then turned to the biological mom, boasting, see? Ever since Molly joined our family, everything's been looking up. So what if the house burned down? Compared to your mom regaining her sight, and your brother getting into Peking University, it's nothing. Our biological mom glared at us, her eyes red with jealousy. But nobody paid her any mind. News of my brother's admission spread through the village quickly. In our small town, it was unheard of. Everyone knew he had good grades, but nobody expected he'd get into Peking University. It caused quite a stir in our town. They even rewarded my brother with a nice bonus. The rumor spread, and even the lady next door turned green with envy. With these events, everything started going smoothly for us. After my mom's eye surgery, my brother and dad could relax. My brother went off to Beijing for university, and my dad stayed focused on his work in the city. Eventually, my mom and I joined them. In the city, she enrolled me in kindergarten and teamed up with dad to run a food stall. My parents are hardworking, and they made the stall a hit with tons of customers. In the first month, they made $30,000. Before coming here, they couldn't imagine such earnings. The success gave them great confidence, pushing them to work even harder. Dad said, even though we're not home now, the old house isn't fixed. I want to earn more this year, to build a new one. My brother offered his bonus to help, but Dad refused. I want you to use that for college, he insisted. Don't worry about the house. Mom agreed. I feel the same way. Once we have enough, we'll rent a nicer place, so Molly can be comfortable. To save money, they rented a tiny home in the city's village. Even so, we were happy. I'd spend weekends at the stall with my parents, playing or doing homework. I'd also help Mom with the kebabs. Soon, everyone there knew me. But our good times didn't last. The rainy season came. Mom and Dad could only work when it wasn't pouring. Some days, the weather was just too bad to open up. Watching the rain outside, I blurted, it'd be great if we had a shop. Dad was surprised. Molly, why do you think that? If we had a shop, then rain wouldn't stop Mom and Dad from opening. Mom pondered this, talking it over with Dad. Molly has a point. How about we build a store instead of saving for a house? It's costlier but with more potential. No more sun or rain worries. I trust in our cooking skills. Convinced, my parents found a small shop in a busy part of the village. Once open, it exceeded their expectations. Without the rain dragging them down, income doubled what it was with the stall. Motivated by success, Dad and Mom worked even harder. One day, a customer recognized us. "Aren't you the Smiths?" Mom, bashful, touched her face. "You know us? Of course. You were quite famous last year. I see your eyesight's better, Becky. That's wonderful." Mom was beaming and said with a grateful smile, "Thanks to Candy Dr. John and all of you. I heard many people donated money to us, but you all refused. You are amazing, and Molly is very well behaved." Hearing my sister's heartfelt words made Mom so happy. She kept insisting on taking her for barbecue. My sister secretly filmed us and posted the video online, and many people got to know about us. Some fans even visited Mom and Dad's food stall to check in. Our good taste and affordable prices made our shop the most popular barbecue joint around. In just 6 months, my parents rented a bigger place and brought in relatives from back home to help. They weren't in a rush to build a house back home. Building requires overseeing, and they were too busy running the business themselves to keep an eye on a house being built back home. After 6 more months of hard work, they managed to save enough to buy a house in the provincial city. When the house was purchased, Dad couldn't stop smiling as he hugged me. "Molly, you're our little lucky star. If we hadn't opened the shop like you suggested, how could we have made so much money so quickly?" "No, it's because you and Mom are so hardworking," I said sincerely with my little fists clenched. "No, it's because Molly has magic words that come true," Mom said, patting my head confidently. "Tomorrow, we'll go see the house. And once it's finalized, let's surprise Mike." Dad suggested mischievously. "You're being sneaky. What if Mike gets scared?" Mom teased Dad. "Mike being scared? Our son is a college star student. Teachers compete for him. There's no way a little surprise would frighten him," Dad said as he kept his usual say it, do it style, and took us to see the house the next day. After checking out just 3 houses, we made a decision. Dad stood by the floor-to-ceiling window of the new house and announced loudly, "Now we have a home in the city." Nearly 2 years after our house burned down, we finally had a home again. "Dad, can we feast today?" I asked, feeling a bit greedy. "Of course," Mom laughed and nodded. "A big purchase like a house calls for a celebration. Molly, whatever you want to eat or where you want to go today, just tell Dad." My face lit up as I hugged Dad's leg. "Really? Could I go to the amusement park?" "Of course. We've been so busy trying to earn money. We haven't taken Molly out to have fun," Dad said with a hint of regret. "It's okay, Dad. I'm happy just being with you and Mom. Good girl. Today we'll make it up to you. Wherever you want to eat or play, just tell Dad." Dad promised. With relatives helping at the shop, our house purchase news spread quickly and even reached back home. My parents didn't mind. With some extra savings, Dad had Uncle Sangong help build us a house back home, and it was finished by New Year. When we went back for New Year, the villagers praised my parents for their success, having a son at Peking University, buying a house in the city, and building a new one at home. They even complimented me. Molly was this tiny dark little thing when she first came, and now she's all fair and pretty. I almost didn't recognize her. Hearing this, my parents just smiled. But the festive air turned tense when 2 unexpected guests showed up. My biological parents came uninvited, holding their newborn son. "Molly, my poor daughter, come let Mom have a look at you." My biological mother reached out as soon as she entered. Before, whenever she saw me, she looked like she was facing an enemy, always scolding or hitting me. Now, instead of violence, her approach was even scarier, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, making me hide behind Mom. Like a mother hen defending her chick, Mom yelled, "Carrie, what are you doing?" My biological mother's eyes flickered, squeezing out a couple of crocodile tears. "Why are you yelling? Can't I see my daughter?" "Your daughter? Don't you only have a son now? Since when do you have a daughter?" Mom retorted mockingly. With relatives acting as her spies, my biological mother's previous antics of snatching donation money had reached our hometown. Mom knew all along but hadn't told me. "Becky, if it weren't for my daughter, would you be rich enough to buy and build a house? Instead of gratitude, you talk to me like this? Grateful to you? Carrie, are you kidding?" Mom snapped. "Thankful for abandoning Molly? Nearly killing her? Or stealing the donated money?" Mom fumed, almost getting physical. "Carrie, you're not welcome here. Get out." Mom pointed to the door, evicting her. My biological mother's face flushed as she fixed her gaze on me. I'll leave if you let me take Molly with me. She used to call me Brat. And back then, I didn't even have a name in that house. Now she used my name, Molly. It made my skin crawl. Take Molly? Carrie, dream on. Never gonna happen. Dad glared at her. My biological father chimed in, trying to mediate. Ken, Molly is our daughter. We've regretted it all these years. Only regretting now that we're making money? You abandoned her as a bad omen. Now that she's lucky, you want her back? Dad shot back. My biological mother sat on the ground, wailing dramatically. So what if I want her back? She's mine. I'm her real mother. You're taking our child. Karma will get you. If you don't give her back, I'll report it. She threatened. Mom and Dad didn't fear it. Fine, go ahead, call the police. We're not stealing, not robbing. What's the problem? Dad, boiling with anger, dialed the police himself. Let's see. Isn't attempting to hurt your own child a crime? Isn't selling your child a crime? My younger sister, their daughter, was reportedly given up for adoption, but actually sold for 50 grand. My biological mother's face changed, and she rushed to snatch Dad's phone. No police. Weren't you the one calling for it? Why not now? When my biological dad saw things weren't going his way, he quickly changed his tune. We don't really have to take Molly back, but that's on one condition, he said. My biological mom jumped in, greedily flashing a number. Give us 500 grand, and we won't bother you anymore. We won't fight for the girl either. Her face twisted with disdain as she pointed at me. No doubt, they're not here for me. They're just after my parents' money. Dad, don't give them anything. I won't allow it. I yelled, looking in their direction. My biological dad gave me that all too familiar glare. You ungrateful brat, what did you say? Yeah, I said it. Even if we have money, we're not giving it to you. You little rascal. My biological dad got angry and tried to rush at me, but relatives held him back. They reminded them that without my parents' adoption, I'd probably be not around. My biological mom didn't give up, but then my mom grabbed a broom and swung it their way. Not a single cent. Molly's dad, call the cops. Let them try to shake us down, see what happens. Dad had been holding back for a long time, but this time he dialed the police without hesitation. When my biological parents saw it, they fled in a panic, scared they'd face consequences. That new year was lousy thanks to them stirring up trouble. As soon as the holiday was over, Mom and Dad took me back to the city. I didn't expect my biological parents would still cling to us. They even found our shop's address. They didn't cause a scene but set up a food stand right next door, selling skewers just like ours. Though their tastes couldn't match up, they undercut our prices to steal customers, selling a $2 skewer for $1 and a $5 one for $3. A bunch of bargain hunters started going there. Their kid was now walking and scurried all around while my biological mom strutted over. Thought not giving that brat back to us meant we'd back off? You didn't see this coming, did you? You limping fool, this is just the beginning. Soon, I'll have all your customers and you'll be done here. She sneered at my dad's limp, full of spite. You're the fool. You won't make any money that way. Mom and Dad had taken me to some great places to eat in the city. If something doesn't taste good, even if it's cheaper, I won't like it. I figured other people felt the same way. My biological mom cursed, then eyed me. Who do you think won't earn money, you little ingrate? I'll smack you if you're not careful. She was so mad she started shouting to the mass of people, big discounts today. Spend 20 and save 5. Spend 50 and save 15. She single-handedly messed up the neighborhood's market. Customers at our shop were already scarce, and now they were running even cleaner. This was a first. I felt terrible seeing my parents troubled. Mom, Dad, should I not have said that? Dad snapped back to reality. What did Molly say? You standing up for me makes me happy. If she's a nuisance, we'll just close shop today and do something fun. Dad shut the shop doors while my biological mom laughed haughtily. Losers, that's all you got. Ignoring her, my parents talked about taking us to Beijing. We hadn't visited my brother's school in a while, because we were busy making money. Plus, during the holidays, he was tied up with an internship. When we surprised my brother at his school, he was thrilled. I was just thinking about coming home. But now you're here. He ruffled my hair. Molly's grown so tall and pretty. Do you not have to intern this summer? Dad asked. Since starting college, my brother had been busy. He'd only been back once. If it weren't for his regular calls, Dad might have thought something was wrong. Grinning, my brother replied, things have finally settled. I've got folks working under me now. No need to do everything myself. Folks working under you? Are you the boss now? I asked, surprised. He chuckled and pinched my nose. Not quite the boss, but I am running things. With our puzzled expressions, he dropped a bombshell. Using scholarship money, he and his dorm mates developed some mini games. One became wildly popular, racking in cash. Mom and Dad were stunned. Really? You've been working on this? Turns out, despite sending him living expenses monthly, he'd been hustling on the side. Dad, I got it from you. Wanted to give you a surprise. He pulled out a housing contract. What's this? Mom asked, dumbfounded. I liked the environment where you live, so I bought you a house nearby for retirement. But this isn't just a house, it's a villa. Dad exclaimed after looking it over. Compared to an ordinary house, villas cost way more. My brother paid in full. A regular house is no big deal. You already bought one. This villa has a great private school nearby. Molly can go there. Overjoyed, my parents' eyes watered. You sneaky guy. We thought we had surprises for you, but look who's surprising us. I didn't quite get it, but it hit me. My brother's become someone remarkable. Recalling my biological mom's words, I got a bit sad. Brother, do you know any great doctors for Dad's leg? If Dad's leg heals, my biological mom won't have anything to mock him with anymore. Dad seemed caught off guard, chuckling. My leg's been like this so long, Molly. Don't worry. Interjecting, my brother said. Even if Molly hadn't asked, this was on my list too, Dad. Fixing your leg means peace of mind for me. Uncomfortable, Dad glanced at his leg. It's been years. It's fine as is. Don't bother. There's an orthopedic specialist abroad who can help. Leave it to me, Dad. Once details are clear, I'll update you. My brother returned to the city with us, having entrusted an agent with house buying. Although friends scoped out the place he hadn't visited, all four of us checked out the villa. Beautiful as expected. With 6 rooms, it comfortably accommodates us 4. My parents are figuring out which room I'll stay in, which one will be my brother's, and how to set up the study. Suddenly my mom's phone rings. Molly, Carrie and her husband have run off. You two better come back and open your store, said the lady who runs the rice noodle shop next to our store. She's tight with my mom. They're even contact information buddies. Mom was puzzled. Run off? She's not selling skewers anymore? Since you guys left, she thought she could rule the whole village and jacked up her prices to match yours. But her ingredients aren't fresh, and the taste is bad. You guys have only been gone 3 days, and folks can't handle it. They just don't care and keep doing their own thing. But still, why'd they leave on their own? Did some customer make a fuss? No, their son got hit by a delivery truck. He's on death's door. They can't bother with running a stand right now. No big trucks run through the village, but there are lots of delivery trucks everywhere. Carrie used to keep her son in a little play area next to her stand, but then she got too laid back, and her kid would wander off without her worrying. Mom and Dad rushed my brother and me to the store. Carrie's setup was still there, but they were nowhere to be found. People were gathered around her stall, muttering things like, we knew something would happen, just didn't expect it so soon. Her and her husband's negligence had been noted before. Folks tried to warn them, but they brushed them off as busybodies. People recognized my parents, saying, Ken, get your store open. Everyone's craving your flavors. But my folks weren't in a rush. Since my brother was home, they wanted to enjoy some quality time. A week later, we finally reopened. Loyal customers stormed in like they were starved. Forget cheap, you've got my loyalty. My parents felt relieved. Carrie's son survived but got unlucky. His leg was crushed and had to be amputated. She fought a legal battle with the delivery driver for over a year. When the dust settled, the driver wasn't wealthy enough to give much compensation. Her son became the cripple, in her words. And in this village, her spot had already been taken. Seeing our thriving skewer business made her fume. Her face twisted in anger as she shouted, Molly, you're bad luck. Your brother shouldn't have been near you. How else would this have happened? Before my parents could say anything, a diner eating skewers suddenly stood up. How dare you come back? Last year, your skewers gave me food poisoning. I was in the hospital for half a month and nearly died. How can you show your face here? Carrie was stunned. Who are you? Stop making stuff up. The customer was irate. I have all the medical records to prove it. It cost me thousands. You and your husband just up and vanished, leaving me to accept my fate. He started smiling, grabbed her, and headed out. I'm going to get my medical records and surgery papers. You're going to pay up, or we're going to have a problem. Carrie screamed. You're just trying to scam me. I bet you ate at the Smiths and are blaming us. Stop deflecting. We can check the surveillance right here. If it weren't for the shop owners not recognizing you, you wouldn't have gotten away with it this long. Carrie's plan for causing trouble backfired, and she found herself in hot water. Whatever went down with that customer, in the end, she didn't pay him anything, but she never dared to cause trouble at our store again. 3 months later, my brother let us know he found an orthopedic specialist abroad. After multiple evaluations, it was determined my dad could still have surgery. So, we all agreed on the treatment. The day of the surgery was bright and sunny. When they wheeled Dad out of the OR, it felt like our family had turned a new page. The end.